And we're live.
We're live!
Yes!
We are live! Alrighty! Hey everyone gathered from around the world, welcome back to our weekly TWTW Hangouts. And we are very excited to host this together again. This is Dirk, my husband, my name is Muriel, but we host this together with Kim Justice. And this is the moment that we again have a great panel. Three amazing, inspirational entrepreneurs. They are here to share with you how you can design your lifestyle, how you can break free from the 9 to 5. They will help you get ideas to actually change your life. And well, that is quite what we do every week. It's not a very formal thing. We just hang out with each other. We're from a lot of places around the world. I see United States. I see people from New Zealand. We're from Holland, from Russia. But
no
now,
borders.
Not
no
only
border.
people, also cats here.
There are no borders here. And if you desire a more meaningful life, if there is something that's keeping you from living the life that living the life of your dreams, you are stuck at doing things you would really rather not do, then this is the place to be for 60 minutes. Because together with Kim, we will interview Chad and Paulina and Shannon, and they will lay out exactly how they change their life, how they become very successful online entrepreneurs, being able to write their own paychecks and living the life of their desire and their dreams. So before we get back to them and interview them, perhaps it's nice to start with sharing who we are, where we come from, and perhaps there's something Dirk would love to say to you. And then we get back to Kim.
Yeah, I was just thinking about what you just said. If you're in a situation that you are not really, how to get out there, and you desperately want to change something, what keep me going always and always, and if I'm stuck into a situation I don't want to be stuck in, or having a problem, or and that can be a big problem, it can be a small problem, what I do is imagine maybe you have this, when you were smaller, or maybe later, you have this dream that you were flying, you just sort of get out of your body, and you're just up in the sky, you see everything from down below, and you're just free, and everything seems so simple. And the moment I get stuck in a problem, in a situation, is that I just imagine myself above. I just fly. For example, I just fly and I look down and I see what is happening. And then suddenly the situation is not that serious anymore, and it's not that difficult anymore, and there are solutions and opportunities like this where you're in now. If you're watching today, this is definitely an opportunity for you, and once you rise above your situation, you'll see that taking the next step is quite easy. And this is what kept me going. I will tell a little bit about myself, where I come from, and I grew up in Holland, and I never had a job. I never worked for a boss. I always tried to figure out on my own way and to work, and I owned restaurants, and actually pretty successful, and but still I did not have the time to enjoy it, to spend my time. And then I got a bit older, I met Muriel, and we got kids, and then you find out in the situation that you're only working and working and working. And then you get a bit over enthusiastic, and you buy another restaurant, and then, well, long story short, you hit bankruptcy because, I don't know, sometimes you get over courage, and if you can say it like that, and anyway, stuck in a situation, bankruptcy, and I know I'm just a responsible type. I want to provide for my family and my loved ones. So there was definitely a situation there that I had to get out. So again, I looked at it from above, and I just looked what cards I had in my hand and what my opportunities are. And this is the opportunity that came on my path and helped us a lot, right?
It did.
So that is a little bit about my story. Maybe you want to take it over?
Yeah, we seem to know each other, right?
Yep.
This is my husband, Dirk. We're married for a couple of years. We have 2 kids. We're together for over 13 years now, and having a lot of fun right now. But that's of course, no, not of course, but that is part of what we do right now. Like, we learn how to earn residual income online. That's part of what we never did before, what we learned the last couple of months, and it changed our lives completely. But it wasn't that always, because I'm just from a normal family, only child, I must say, not lonely, but only child. And I was just doing what my parents expected to do. I went to school, I started my studies, but something thrives through, how did you say that? Something, I have a big drive in my life to create big things, because that I know now was because of, I grew up with a mom. She had a manic depression, and she committed suicide when I was just 19. I just started my studies as a social worker, and that did something to me, because I realized it was a very traumatic way of losing my mom, that you have to make something of your life. And you know, it can just happen that your life isn't there, or things happen in your life with other people. You don't know, you have to make the best out of it. But you know, I just kept on going, didn't realize what I should do. I just did my studies, and you know, after meeting Dirk, and we had a great time traveling the world, and you know, we just did our things as a couple. After becoming a mom, things fell on place that I was doing something wrong, because my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I was really happy for that, although she was ill and not always very happy. But when she was happy, I was lucky. She was always around for me. But since I became a mom, I felt so much pain in my heart to miss my kids, because I had to go to work, and Dirk was always working in his restaurants, like 70+ hours, and it was like, okay, we have what we always wanted. We have kids. We have 2 beautiful children and 2 beautiful restaurants, but something is missing. But you know, things just went on, and time was flying, but that moment that my husband messed up financial, I can laugh about it right now. It helped us to find this new track and started to look for opportunities online, and that's what drove us to the internet, and that was what helped us to build our lives brand new. We totally transformed to new-minded people, because our mindsets were like, you have to go to your work, earn your income, you know, the 40-year plan, and then when you're 65, if you're lucky, you're still healthy enough, then you have the time to live your dreams. So we broke with that ideas, because our journey started with meeting people like we have in our panel here. We started to connect with people who were already doing the things we would love to do, and that for Chad, Chen, and Paulina to share their stories, because you guys have great, powerful stories that we're pretty sure that all our listeners can relate to, because you're all completely different. You're completely different to Dirk and I, and of course our dear friend Kim Justice. I'm already almost done, dear Kim. I know you're waiting very politely, but this is like this is like what we like to bring to our listeners. Things can change. Something brought you here. Somebody brought you here to the hangout. Somebody invited you here. Please stick to the end, because you can feel brand new after those now 50 minutes to go. Great things will be shared. This was part of my story. We're very happy to do this. And I love to give it back to you, dear Kim. Please share the world who you, great person you are, and then we start the interviews. Kim, back to you.
Yay!
Awesome stories, guys. I mean, I can't really hear it enough because that's why I made my weird face, because I love to hear about your story. I always get something new every time, and you had a lot of golden nuggets there on that mindset shift, and I'm just so excited to be here with today's panel. I mean, we have an excellent group of people, and Chad, how you doing, man?
Doing amazing.
Caught you off guard. No, I'm just kidding. Paulina, how are you?
Doing fantastic.
Awesome. And Sheenan, how's my guy from Down Under? Well, not really Down Under.
Sweet.
Awesome. But yeah, you guys, my name's Kim Justice. I'm the ProFit blogger, and thanks so much for joining us. Now, we're here to share with you how to not only have that mindset shift of going from maybe a struggle mindset or a broke mindset to one that maybe it'll get that little bit of a shift in success mindset. I mean, if you listen to Dirk and Muriel's story, it was a matter of a decision. They were in some circumstances like bankruptcy, like a really huge change in Muriel's life when her mother passed away, and you know, there's that mindset shift that you have to make a decision to either like blame your circumstances that you're in, or you take control and do something about it. And that's why we're here at the TWTW Hangout. For those that don't know, I'm from Chicago, and we have a great sports announcer who came up with TWTW, which is the will to win. And that's what we're here to really help inspire you guys to have the will to win in your lives, in your businesses, so you can make that shift into an entrepreneurship lifestyle, which is who we are. We are online entrepreneurs. We help people grow their businesses, not only their brick and mortar businesses, but we help people grow an online business who have no prior experience. So we help you as a newbie to the business. So that's why we're here, is to give you some nuggets, some inspiration, and to show you the way on how you can follow in our footsteps. So again, my name's Kim. I used to be a personal trainer working 60+ hours per week, and I have a passion for travel. So my biggest reason why is to be able to live life on my terms, to have my boyfriend retire from corporate life, and for us to travel the world. So that is why I work my butt off every single day. And when I say work my butt off, it's a joy. I get to work with these excellent people here. I get to choose who I work with, and I get to choose the hours that I work, and the more hours that I work, the more I get paid. So it's my life is under my control now, and it wasn't before. I was at the beck and call of my clients. I had to be there at bizarre hours. I missed special moments with my family during holidays because I had to work through the holidays. So I finally made a decision that I was going to start an online business so I could start basically living free and earning free in order to travel around the world. And for those that don't know, I just bought my boyfriend and I just bought our round-the-world tickets where we're leaving in about 19 days, and we will be traveling around the world for an entire year. So that's just a show of what can happen when you take control of your life and what you're able to do. And so we're so excited. But that's really all about me. I'm pretty simple. I got a degree in dumbbells, so I'm not a techie genius, but I've been able to make things work online. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. And this panel will show you how what seems impossible become possible, because this panel has earned some major results online, and it didn't come without hard work. I will let you know this is a real business, and I'm just going to throw an income disclaimer out there. Results not typical, but these folk aren't typical, all right? So they work their butts off, but they have been able to automate their businesses so they can work online and enjoy freedom. So without further ado, I am going to introduce you guys to Chad. He's going to tell his story. And first, Chad, I want you to start with how your journey as an entrepreneur began, and then we'll go from there. So thank you so much for being with us, Chad.
Hey, thank you so much, Kim. If we went over my entrepreneur journey, we'd be here until next Tuesday. So I'm not going to go through the whole story. Let's just say at those points in time in my life that I was in a new type of business, and I don't just mean business opportunity. I mean real estate. I mean inventing stuff. I mean coming up with different business things where we would sell different things in like flea markets, solar, roofing, all this kind of stuff. But let me start here. In 2005, I started my very first network marketing company. But it was kind of quasi-online, and in that, they pitched me this idea of having freedom from home and being able to have flexibility in your life and being able to go work your business from anywhere in the world, a beach, a pool, it doesn't matter. And they were kind of partially there, right? I could work from home, but I was calling leads all day long. I was like a telemarketer. And telemarketers, it's not a well-paid skill. You telemarketers get paid around $8 an hour. And that's about how much I made, if not like 80 cents an hour. And I built up a team in that business, and then I actually had a manager that was an alcoholic contact my whole team and tell them that I was just a 23-year-old kid living in my parents' house that didn't know anything about a business. And I was like devastated. Like it was just like and the worst part about it was, obviously that was all true, but the worst part of it is like I was broke as hell trying to pretend that I was something else. And not that I was lying to them, but I was not pretending, but like I was positioning myself because I had to do all these phone calls, and so all that positioning was so important. So he felt that I should pay attention to him and that I should go to anybody else and find a mentor that maybe had a little bit better people skills. And so I did that. So this is the thing, that this is a lesson for you. You might have a vision. You might have a dream of the way that your life could be, and that could be something, right? What you're doing right now may be the way to get there, or it might not be, right? And that's fine. It's not about the vehicle. It's about your vision, and never to give up on that vision going down the road. And at that time, I didn't keep going forward. I didn't make a decision to keep going with that company. I quit, and I actually became desperately, really, really depressed. And I lived off unemployment for 2 years. Somehow I milked that for 2 years, and I got addicted to video games, and I got stuck in this rut of a life. And it was like really down in like a deep, deep hole. And I remember myself on this exact same desk, having my head down, listening to the audio, like the music from this video game that had kicked me out. But I was just like laying there, like all basically depressed. And I dug down deep inside me, and I pulled myself out of that hole. And I said, enough is enough. I'm not living like this anymore, and that I'm going to. I had this obsession. I had this put in my head of this freedom lifestyle, to be able to live the way that I wanted to live. And so I had this put in my head, and I wanted that, but I had to like just kind of take baby steps at that time. So I actually got into therapy, and I realized that hating myself was a big problem at the time. That I was actually beating myself up because of the kind of the situation that I got myself in. And I actually went and I started working at a job at that time, doing door-to-door sales, and I did that, and I got really good at it, but not because I wanted that to be the end-all, but because I knew I needed to do something, and I needed to find a business that I could be successful with, but I needed money now. So I did that door knocking for like 2 years, where I jumped into a business after business after business, and I tested out all these businesses, and I just felt them out and seeing if that would fit what I really wanted, that freedom lifestyle. And I didn't find anything until about 2013, and I finally found this business. I'm from Michigan. But I was getting so good at the door-to-door thing that I would have these companies call me and want me to come train them on doing sales and teach their salespeople how to do this. And so I'm down in, and they pay all my expenses, my housing, my car, my everything. So I'm down in Florida, and I'm living in this house that they put me into, and I'm sitting in front of this guy, and he is making $80,000 a month. And I'm sitting here listening to this guy, and he makes that was like a ton of money to me at that time. And I was listening to him, but he was telling me the life that he had to lead to do that. He had to drive from Tampa to Orlando every day, back and forth. That's a 3-hour round trip. And I had a breakthrough. I'm like, I have to find something now. I can't wait any longer for me to find this business. So I went home. I actually quit that, and it took them a day from the day that I quit to completely boot me out of the housing situation, out of the car, and I hadn't got paid for that job yet. So I had like $300 to my name. So I went and got a hotel for a week. I should have took the last money that I had and actually bought a plane ticket, but instead of that, this business kept on popping up online, kept on popping up, and I knew that this is the way that I wanted to go. And I went home, and I actually joined that business, and I spent that next week, and I took massive action in my business. I just did whatever it took, and I actually started making a significant amount of money in my first week. I had 10 sign-ups and kind of just leveraged that from there. But I made that decision, and it kind of leveraged me to and we can get into where I am now, but that's my story right there if you want to break.
Awesome. That's so awesome. Yeah, if you can kind of tell people where you're at now, and
Sure.
Also if you wouldn't mind sharing your biggest or maybe weirdest breakthrough that you've had during this process of having your online business. So you started from when you so you ended your story at where you started, and then now, kind of during that time, what was your biggest breakthrough in the online world, in an online business?
Sure. This is it right here. All right. So I made some money, and then I got lazy, or not lazy, but like I knew that a lot of people were automating their business online. And I made some money, but I wasn't really making enough to like really make a brand for myself or make a kind of name for myself or really kind of get things going. I was having success, but nothing like huge, right? And I wanted to just like automate my business, and I set that up a little too early, right? All I did was create passive sources of traffic and passive sources of leads coming in, and I stopped being active in my business. And one of my biggest breakthroughs is when you first get started, you need to get rid of the idea of automating and being passive in your business. You need to be active. You need to keep on connecting with people, and you need to keep on connecting and closing and bringing new people into your business actively, so you can create a name for yourself in your business as much as you possibly can, until you can kind of really create at least a $10,000 in your income. So that's one thing. Second thing is dipping your toe in the water will never get you anywhere, right? Let me tell you real quick. I'd had some success, try to automate my business, and then I had one girl come to me that I had connected with, and she decided to join my business, and she had just kind of been at the basic level, and she came to me one day and she goes, "Hey Chad, are you all in? Do you have your black card?" And I said, "No, Cindy, no, I'm not." And I got up to the gold package in our business, and I hadn't got that last product, and she said, "Well, I'm cashing in my 401k, and I'm buying all the products." She's like, "Can you get the money to get all the products?" And I said, "You know what? Yes, I can. Let me figure it out, right? Let me figure it out." And so she said, "All right, well, I'm going to be doing this on Monday." This was Friday. And I was like, "Okay, I got 3 days." I immediately threw my car up on Craigslist, and I sold everything that I had. I went to my offline mentor that's taught me a lot of things about business, and I said, "Hey, I have a way of making $4,000 in the next few days here. Can you loan me the money to get the product that I need so I can make this?" And he said, "I don't have that liquid right now. I can loan you $1,500. Basically, what it came down to was that I needed I think $1,500 after I sold everything that I had, my TV, my Blu-rays, my just pretty much everything I had, clothing. I took it to Plato's Closet and sold clothing, and I still had my car. I wasn't getting any hits off of Craigslist, so I started taking it around to different dealerships, and they kept on giving me the freaking BS runaround about, hey, your car's worth this. We'll give you what it's worth, basically. It needs a bunch of work, and you can take it or leave it type deal. And so I started getting creative. I went to this dealership, and I said, "Hey, I know it needs this much work. I got a guy that'll do the work for me. And I'll have him come in this weekend and fix it. You give me this amount." I said, "Hey, it needs." They were saying $1,500, $2,000 worth of work. I was like, "Yeah, it needs $800 worth of work," and somehow they agreed with me. It's like when you make that decision, things just the everything just gets out of your way. It's really weird how that works. And so they gave me a check for $8,300, and I was going to come back and get the rest of the $800 that they were going to give me. And so I come in on Monday, and I say, "Hey, I'm here to get the rest of the money," and I needed $100 more. And even though they owed me a check for $800, and they were like, "Oh, your guy never showed up." And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, he never showed up." I'm like, "Oh, well, where's my car?" And they're like, "It was a 2010 Escape." And I was like, they're like, "We sold it." I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me? You guys sold my car?" They're like, "Yeah, you gave me the title, we sold it." And I'm like, "Whoa, what the hell?" So I needed $100, and this is the point in my life that I was at that I couldn't come up with $100. So I had this watch, right? It was a Breitling watch, and it was given to me by a boss that I had when I was doing door-to-door sales, and I went to him. He owed me a couple $100 for some sales or whatever, and I was like, "You know what? I really like that watch. Why don't you give me the watch instead of the money?" And he was like, "Sure," and he just gave me the watch. I should have thought something was up from then. And so this was, if you know anything about Breitlings, they're very expensive watches. Some people think they're nicer than Rolexes. And so I took this watch, and I took it into a pawn shop, and I said, "Hey, and And so let me give you some backstory on my guy that gave it to me, my boss. He used to import rice from Cambodia. And he used to tell me about how you go over there and they would be like, they would sell him like bags, like Louis Vuitton bags and watches and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, you know, all that stuff's not made in Italy. It's made in Cambodia. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I guess I was a naive kid. I just paid attention to everything everybody said. And so I'm standing in this this pawn shop. And I don't know if you guys have pawn shops in Netherlands or Holland or in New Zealand, but they're basically this place where you go in and sell your stuff, or you loan it to them and they give you money. So I say, hey, I'll give you this watch. They're like, how is it real? I don't know, man. I really don't know. I was getting, you know, I'm being honest. I really don't know. And so they had this guy come by, and he's like, I gotta look at it. He's all magnifying glass in the watch, and he's like, you know what, man? I'm sorry. It's not real. We can't buy it. And I'm like, oh, are you freaking kidding me? And so that guy leaves, and the original guy goes, hey, you know, we can't buy this as a store, but I really like this watch. I'll buy it from you. I'll give you $100. I'm like, will you give me $150? And he's like, no, 100 only. And so he gave me $100. I freaking took it, threw it in the bank, went home, got all the products. Next day I had a $4,150 day, and I leveraged that into an $8,000 month, and then a $12,000 month, and now I'm having months of high as $21,000 and averaging, you know, $10,000 to $20,000 for the last few months. So income disclosure, nothing's guaranteed, but if you do whatever it takes, if you make massive decisions to really go all out in your business and not dip your toe, you can make things just move for you.
Yeah, Chet, what I like about your story is, and I hope that all the people who are just gathered here in our hangout and listening realize that you just laid out here a total exact plan on how to overcome one of the main objections for people, because we talk, a lot of people, you know, ask us, what should I do? Oh, okay, should I invest products? Okay, and then of course they say a lot of times, I don't have the money, and you just laid out here an exact plan how to be creative to come up with those investments, and I'm pretty sure that we all did things like that, you know, selling stuff, being creative just to start up your business with the best package. And I love that story that you just shared here with everyone.
It's a great example of the will to win.
Yeah, it's the will to win. You have your mind on something and you just go for it, and you don't let yourself keeping away from it because of objections of financial startup problems. Thank you. That's an awesome example.
I think Chad was listening a lot of Speak the World Existence. He was like describing just like David Wood almost. Good job, Chad.
But did you? Oh, you weren't on. But when I came on, I had to pause it because I was listening to that. And so, yeah, that came out a little bit. Am I the only one where Polina's the person on screen, like locked in? Like I'm telling the story and she's just like up and like she's the person on my screen.
Oh, so, yeah.
Which wasn't a terrible thing. I'm just
With other people, Chad, if you want to see who's talking, you just click on their picture.
Okay, I must be clicked on her.
Will into existence.
Paulina will be the next in line to interview, but
uh-oh.
yeah, well, do we have more questions for Chad, Kim? Because I think Chad did a lot of great things, sharing about, you know, overcoming objections and just his story about where he started and where he's at right now. Because Chet, you're a top income earner right now. You're a coach. You're helping people to leverage the internet. You're like a sales coach. You're doing pretty awesome. And Well, just great to have you here. Do you have more questions for Chad, Kim?
No, I loved everything he had to talk about. I love all the golden nuggets he had. So hopefully our viewers are taking lots of notes and getting inspired to, you know, make that change. And for those that don't know, we all use the same online business system, and you can access that online business system by clicking the link below this video. So if you're inspired by Chad's story on how he literally went from nearly homeless because he got kicked out of his house down in Florida to being able to earn a substantial income online, and he learned all of these all of the marketing techniques and how to start an online business through this system. So you can access that by clicking the link below. But Dirk and Muriel, go ahead and introduce Paulina for us.
Oh, thank you, Kim. Hey, Paulina, thank you for being here. And we know you're quite a busy lady. You're doing so incredibly well. We see you everywhere online on the internet, doing hangouts everywhere. So that makes it extra special that you created time for us to share your story.
Thank you for inviting me.
And I just also noticed that you know, you're a visionary as well. You're from Russia originally. This English is not your first language.
No.
So we don't feel so alone right now because it's not our first language as well. And you broke free from your job once and started to live the laptop lifestyle, your dream life. You're like, I think you were at that point that a lot of people would love to be. And I think it will be awesome if you would share your, you know, your part of your journey, where you came from, what your life looked like before you started to work with this system. It's quite a big question, like an open question, so you can select what you would like to share, but please share it that people will understand how your life is able to change.
Yep, sure. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me, guys. And actually, I can relate with Chad. If I start telling all my stories, like, we're gonna be here till next Tuesday, till next week. But yeah, I came to USA from Russia. It was 2011. I was born and raised in Russia, and I think my entrepreneurial journey started in my mind even before I actually became entrepreneur, because even since I was, you know, a kid and I was studying, you know, in school, I was like dreaming, right, that I'm gonna have my business. Like all my girlfriends, they're like talking about, oh, I'm gonna get married and have kids. I'm like, I wanna have my business, you know, I wanna make something different in this world. You know, I always was a dreamer, but I came from really like small place in Russia, like my little town. We didn't even have universities there, so, and I didn't really know what I want. And my family, my mom told me, hey, you know, go to study, get degree, you know, get diploma, and then you can get a job. But I had another plan. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to university, and because I'm gonna move to another city, to bigger city, and then I'm gonna find more opportunities there, and you know, then I will figure out what I'm gonna do next. So I entered university, and only with this purpose. I didn't care. I didn't even like I got a degree like finance and credit, but I never cared about that because I only wanted to move away and find new opportunities in life. So when I moved from there, I actually got this dream, you know, to come to USA, because, you know, I heard like American dream, you know, you can make, you know, a lot of money here and, you know, open your business, and I heard so many success stories. So that's actually how, you know, how I got here in 2011, and I was so excited. I thought, oh, I'm gonna work, you know, hard, make a lot of money, and then finally, you know, I'm gonna have my business, you know, I can be free. But when I actually moved here, that American dream wasn't as I pictured that, because like I would work since like early in the morning until late night, and I would like work so hard, but I faced with that reality, right, to pay my bills, right, be on my own, you know, far away from my family, no support, nothing. So I am all by myself, and I was working, but I didn't make any, like, I made money, but, you know, there will be, I always had expenses. I had to pay for this, you know, and like here, like, you know, really it was everything expensive compared to Russia, right? So, and I stuck in that cycle. Like I was so burned out. I was so tired. I got depressed because like I didn't see any way out of that, because that's what I pictured. Oh my God, now all my life I had to work, right? And you know, just to support myself. How I can even open my business? I don't have this extra money. I only have, you know, money like barely support myself for food, you know, for rent and all this stuff. So I got depressed. I got burned down. I was so like, I kind of lost myself. I'm like, I kind of stopped dreaming, and I didn't see any future, you know. I had like, I would find another, like I would get fired so fast because like I hated my jobs, and I just some jobs I got fired, some I would leave, and even if I would find better jobs where I get paid more, it's like still didn't make any money. And my life changed in the moment I actually read the book. It's called Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. I read that book, and it was a breakthrough for me when I realized that I stuck in this rat race, right? And I realized, you know, like, yeah, this is my life. The more I work, the more money I make, the more expenses I have, the more like stuff going on in my life. So I can't just, you know, get away from this cycle. I had to do something different. And once I read this book, I'm like, okay, now I need to, you know, I need to look for the way. But you know, like start traditional business, it's like really seemed impossible for me, because like I would never come up in, you know, with so much money. And that's actually where when I came across, you know, online business. I just saw my friends, you know, on Facebook posting videos, and they were living this lifestyle. They were free, and I'm like, wow, how they do it. And I just messaged them. That's, you know, and got started. That's basically how it all started for me. But the thing was, like, I didn't speak English. I didn't understand what I was literally signed up. I'm like, okay, so what I need to do? They're like, you need to invest $1,000. Then we're gonna work with you, and we're gonna show you how to get results that you want. I'm like, what I'm invested in? I watched videos so many times that I didn't even understand, but I saw, you know, this is business, so I can have my own business. And I look at my account. Actually, I had the last $1,000 in my account and saving. I'm like, okay, you know, I gotta do it. You know, I just saw the opportunity. I saw that they can do it, and I believe that I can do it also. So this is basically how I started, and without even understanding. So even if you have excuse that you don't speak English, it's not an excuse. I would watch videos. I didn't understand anything, and you know, but the more I would listen, the more I would do it. You know, the more, like, that's actually how I started speaking, you know, English and understand it, because it helped me not even, you know, do the business, but also helped me personally, and, you know, like, learn English and speak English, you know, improve myself. So that's how it all started for me. It was August 2013, and it was an interesting journey. I had my success, my first success. You know, I started making money. I got away from my job, and I guess, I don't know, maybe like you have more question after that. I don't know where to go.
It's awesome to getting to know you better, because you share your story and where it started for you. And what I want to you know, to give the attention to about your story for all the listeners is that what you actually are saying is that being able, with a low investment, starting your own online business was actually the start of your tremendous success, because you're very successful right now, but it started with just that small basic investment. And I like that people hear this and that they write it down, that one of the benefits of working with our system is that it enables people to start with a very low investment.
Yeah.
You don't need to hire a place to do your business, right, Paulina? You just need your laptop. And that's awesome that you share this with you, and so that you're a visionary. I think one of the parts that I believe that creates your success is that you speak your vision into the world, and you are helping a lot of people. And perhaps, if you may like, you can give the listeners a tip which they can use to get some success right away, because a lot of people are looking now, listening to your story, think, right, well, she's there where she wants to be, but I'm just stuck. Okay, I have $1,000 to invest okay, what do I need more? Do you have a great golden nugget for them?
Yes.
Just the marketing, you know.
You just what changed for me is because when I started, I wasn't like I spent my last $1,000, right? But I didn't have money to go all in. But all in our business, it meant like I invest at that time. Now people have discount, right? That time was like over $5,000, right? To be like all in with all products, and I kind of like I was like trying at that moment to do like where I can get money, but I wasn't yet all in with my mindset because I kind of wasn't. I didn't understand exactly what I'm doing. I kind of believed, but it was like really hard. I didn't really have support, you know, like I didn't have a team, like my sponsor didn't support me and all this stuff. Yeah, at that time it was, you know, so many excuses that I make that maybe some people who just got started making these excuses. But what changed for me when I came to my first live event. And that's where actually I met Chad. You remember Chad? It was Orlando event. It was 2013, October 2013. That's where everything changed for me, where I get all in with all my heart, with all my mind, with everything. I dropped all excuses. I'm like, I see now, this is real. I see the bigger picture. I see the vision. Like, and that's where like one of my biggest breakthrough happened when I realized everything is only I responsible for my success. No sponsor, no team. No, like products, some people, oh, this product is not good enough, or maybe like I don't understand something, or someone not helping me. It's all excuses. The only person who is responsible for success is you. This is what you should realize whenever you're starting, like when you join in the business, right? Nobody gonna care about your business and your success more than you, and only you can make it happen. So that's where I got this, like, okay, now I'm all in, and what I did, like I was borrowing money. I put my car actually in the loan so I can get, you know, I can get money, you know, so I can invest, you know, in my business. I was applying like I had like 6 or 7 credit cards, different credit cards. To be honest, my credit is still really like not in good place because like I was like, you know, doing whatever it took. But I don't really care right now because, you know, I know if now I need something, you know, now my business is paying, right, and I can pay, you know, for cash if I need. So I didn't care about that. So I was doing whatever it takes, and I got all in. Once I got all in my mindset, I got all in financially, and that's where my biggest breakthrough happened financially. After I got all in, I made and put my full focus, 30 days focus. I made over $5,000 in 1 month. That was my biggest breakthrough. Cause when I was working at my job, I couldn't even make more than $1,000 a month, and here like 5,000. I'm like, oh my.
Did she break up for you guys, or is that me?
Yeah, she's breaking up.
Same here.
And yeah.
She's glancing over in that direction.
You're looking so pretty, like being frozen, like a frozen princess.
I think she's very.
If I froze, I'd freeze like that. Like somehow she freezes, and it's.
All right, guys. So while we wait for Paulina to come back, oh my gosh, like amazing breakthrough and golden nugget there, you guys. I hope you're taking notes. And you know, we on these hangouts, a lot of, you know, we'll share marketing strategies sometimes, but really these hangouts are to help you overcome those initial objections in order to actually start an online business. And you've heard from Chad, you heard from Paulina, and you'll hear from Sheenan in a second of how they had to make a decision. They had to overcome certain obstacles and certain circumstances in order to create success in their life, because success was ultimately up to them. And so without further ado, I'm going to introduce Sheenan so he has time to talk about, or is Paulina back?
Paulina, you're back.
She's back. Or is she?
Is she muted?
I don't know. She's trying to come back. Anyway, guys, so, you know, Sheenan, go ahead and if you can introduce yourself and kind of talk about where your journey started as an online entrepreneur. Like, where where were you kind of stuck right before you made that decision to look for something else, or what was that breakthrough you had to look for a better way?
Oh, okay, so I'll just plug myself back in. My battery's dying. For me, so my story's a bit different to Paulina and Chad's. Kiwis. And for me, like I still have a great job that allowed me to travel the world, and I got I worked less than half the year. But I was in Canada at Whistler, and I was snowboarding, and that's one of my passions, and travel was my #1 passion. And I was up there snowboarding, and it was knee-high powder, and I had to go home the next day. So, and in my head, I just didn't want to go home because I wanted to make the most of the snow. And it was actually, I was sitting in the bar after that day having a beer, and I was talking to my friend. And then I just mentioned to her, I said, oh man, I need to find something where I can just work from my laptop, and if I want to stay, I can stay longer and still make money. And then the guy overheard me, a stranger, says, have you read the 4 Hour Work Week? That's what they do. I said, no, but I'm gonna. So then I put something up on Facebook about the 4 Hour Work Week, and then another friend that lives here in New Plymouth says, I've got that book, you can come and get it. So like straight away, everything's like, I put it out to the universe, and things started just rolling in for me, you know. And that was my point, because I just got sick of really enjoying a place, and you just get settled, and then you got to go home. So that was my breakthrough to want to find something online. But a little background about me is like I grew up in a small town with 300 people or less, because they were mainly farmers, so there's probably less people in town. I'm the youngest of 7 children, and I've always had the entrepreneurial mindset, because from 8 years old I started working. I had the town. I was like the Donald Trump of Kauponga. I had the paper run, the milk run. I had 2 paper runs, the milk run. I mowed everyone's lawns, so I knew what hard work was, you know. And I just took that mindset through my life, and I always wanted to succeed at whatever I did. And then, but when you get a bit older, you get a bit susceptible to people telling you can't do things, you know. So you take sometimes, like I'm quite a emotional kid. Back then I was an emotional kid, so you take it to heart, and you'd let it get to you. Whereas nowadays I don't. I use it as fuel, and I use it as the fuel to get me to the goal that I want. And when you get the naysayers, and you get a lot of them, you get to the goal faster because you want to prove them wrong. Success is the biggest way to prove them wrong, you know. And it's not about proving them wrong, it's about proving yourself right, that you were right, that you could do it in the beginning. And yeah, so, but I'm at the younger, like I'm nowhere near as long as Chad and Paulina. I've only just started in November, and I bought it. I followed my mentor online for 3 months before that, because I wanted to see if he was legit. And he was. He's a Kiwi guy, so that made it even more real for me. So, and I started talking to him. He sent me the link. I watched the link, and I saw the vision straight away, and saw what I could do with it, and I just went all in straight away off the bat. But then what I did is I sat on it until Las Vegas, because I had other stuff going on in my life at the time that I was busy with. And when I heard that we could go to Las Vegas.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there. Oh, she's back.
Yeah.
She's,
Do you want to carry on with her, or?
yeah,
carry on.
Finish your story, please.
All right, so, okay. So I was, because I love travel and I was going to learn, and I love learning. I was like, man, this doesn't even work. I'm off. I'm there, and I got to Las Vegas, and that was a major breakthrough. And just because you meet everyone that you've been talking to online, and it was actually overwhelming for me, because it was way more than what I expected. like I just got so much more from it, and there was so much to learn at that point in time where I was so new that I didn't take everything I needed in, obviously, because I was a beginner, but I did take in what I needed at that point in time of where I was at the level. And the event was just, it just reiterated how powerful and what this business is to me. By getting on a plane and going to the event, I said, yeah, I'm not going to miss the next one either. So the next one was luckily enough in New Zealand, and it was the first one out of the United States, so we made a bit of history there. And straight after that one, I made my first trial sale, and I did the biggest like dance because I knew how hard I'd worked just to get that trial sale. And I was just, you got to celebrate every little win you get.
Yeah.
And so, so imagine what a trial sale. And then just last week I got my first all in. So you can imagine the dance I did there. I was out on the all ring. So the boys were wondering what I
all
did.
in for those who
All in.
are listening.
So it's going black. So that's a 3K sale for one day.
That's awesome.
3K commission. Yeah, so yeah, I was doing the happiest dance ever, and the guys at work were like, just like, what are you doing? And then I told them, and they're like, where's the link?
So Sheenan, I was just listening to your story, and that's quite an amazing story. And I like, you know, as somebody, I'm pretending I'm totally new on this, and I'm listening to your story. Am I right that what I hear you say is that what changed for you is started to surround yourself and meeting the people that you work with, like who are more successful than you, like starting to go to events, right? Did I hear that right? Because I think that's an important nugget for people who are listening to this. If they start looking for that action button down below this page, they will see start here or start your business here, some action button. It will not only be the system to work with that we all do, but also the community that, like, I hear you telling about is existing as well with this, working with this system. It's like we have every 90 days company events that people from all over the world, like every single corner of the world, people are gathered there, and that's quite powerful. And Paulina as well was sharing this, that what shifted her mind was meeting people who were having results. Also, people who never ever had one sale before in their lives. So I love you sharing that, Shannon, that what you're saying, celebrate small success. It begins all with a tiny, eeny-meeny sale, because we have to sell things, of course, to create residual income online, but that will build up, right?
I like to call it sharing rather than selling. So, I'm not someone that sells something. I'm a person that shares. So and sharing is caring. So that's the way I look at it. That's
a beautiful metaphor. Great. Yeah.
No, that's awesome, Sheenan. Fantastic story, and I really got to know Sheenan very well because we are in the same little micro community within our larger community, and we got to actually spend 10 days together with 75, 80 other individuals, and we were in the same room, in the same hotel for 10 days pretty much. So we got to get to know each other really well, smashing down a lot of beers together. Oh, goodness. But Sheenan is one of those individuals that I can honestly say does want to change the way things are done and want to genuinely like help people. And everyone here on this panel is right there where, you know, yes, we have products to sell. We have great systems. We have a great way on how to make money online, and that's not touchable by any other system out there. I've been there, I've searched it, and this is the best apart, but it's because of this community, it's because of the people that we surround ourselves with, and it's because of that transparency, that love. I mean, literally, we care so much about the person next to us. That is why we've been able to make a huge change in our lives, because when we first start this business, I don't know, you guys can probably agree with this, we feel alone. I mean, we may have great mentors, but literally they could be thousands of miles away. But when we come to these events, that's included with our system as far as that opportunity to go to these entrepreneur events, that's when the magic happens. That's when we're able to literally hold hands with fellow entrepreneurs and be able to grow together as a team, not only from a financial side, but from a personal development side too.
Spiritual.
So, Sheenan, thank you so much for sharing your story. Paulina, did you want to add anything? I know we kind of got some technical difficulties. Did you want to add anything more about your story about events and that breakthrough that you had? This is just so good of content, I don't care if we go over the hour.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes! Now we can hear you.
Oh my god, my internet is just not working. I don't know, it just stopped working. So I don't know why. Let me go outside. Just a second. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're loud and clear and very visible and moving. We see your apartment.
So what I was talking about, I don't even know where to stop.
You were talking about how the events were your biggest breakthrough, that you got to see people have success, and yeah, you were kind of going from there of like basically the breakthrough that you had in order to earn that first $5,000, and then you've earned even more than that per month since then, because you've just been working incredibly hard to share your vision and to inspire like-minded people. So if you can share a little bit more on that.
Oh yeah, and I was telling you a story when we moved to the beach house, and then when I ended up with $21 on my name when I was focusing on our own stuff. So that, I think, was my biggest like temporal defeat when in my business and life I'm like, okay, what I'm doing wrong. I was really and I also got like sick, you know, like physically at that moment, and my mindset was in the wrong place. I'm like, I just want to quit. I just want to give up. You know, I was like that point of my life that I didn't even know what I have to do. But that one comes when you really want to give up, right? When you really want to quit. There's like, we're all humans, right? We'll have these thoughts when something is really not like going wrong in your life. We'll have these thoughts, but this is why you should remember why you started at the first place. What is your why? What is that reason why you were doing what you were doing? And for me, always my biggest why was my mom, because I really, this is what motivates me to keep going, because she helped me a lot in, you know, during, you know, my life, and I just want to give her back, you know, I just want to give her life that she deserves. So that's what helped me to go through that moment and just don't quit. Because I was like even thinking go back to Russia. I'm like, nothing is working for me right now, and you know, everything is so bad, and that will help me to go through that time. I'm like, no, I can't just give up. How I, you know, gonna even look at your eyes and just come, you know, home and just say, hey, you know, I just quit. You know, I knew that my mom would understand me and, you know, support me, but I just couldn't do it just because of her, and that would help me to like to go through all the thoughts about giving up. I'm like, hey, I just told myself, you already know what to do. You just have to, you know, start focusing on the right things that were working for you before, and you know, before I started, you know, like just completely going wrong direction. And once I made the decision, I'm like, you know, now I can do, you know, anything is up to me. There is no plan B. Just I have to do it. I have to put all my focus. It was my first 7-10 days. I made like over $1,000 in my business. And I'm like, hey, you know, I just got back, you know, on the right track. And, you know, from there, I just started, you know, like growing and growing. And the last 2 months, just a little bit less than 2 months, I made like almost $20,000 in my business. So since that decision, so, you know, I just started listening to the right people, you know, focusing on the right stuff, you know, just made this decision, you know, I already know what I need to do, you know, and I knew that I can do it. So that's, I guess, the last thing that I have to say, guys, be careful who you listen, you know, find the right mentor who can show you exactly, you know, how to get results that you want and to go where you want to go. Be careful who is this person, who you listen to, because many people, they talk so like good and it sounds so amazing, but you know, you gotta be careful. So that's pretty much it, you know, what I wanted to share. You guys have questions?
Yeah, I think you laid out a couple of beautiful things that I was thinking, you know, this Hangouts kind of training that you guys are all giving away is about mindset. It's incredible how this just created right on the spot, because I heard a couple of things I would like to repeat that Paulina just said, that Sheenan just said, that Chet just said, Kim. I heard like, and this is important for everyone who is listening, like, if you want to make a big change in your life, you should be committed like 100%. That's like Chet started with this story. You have to be committed and get all in with your mind. But also, if you start with a business, with the products, just get all in and go for it, and don't feel overwhelmed by everything. Just do what you have to do. Follow, stick to your plan. And like Paulina just said there, you don't have to have a plan B. There's no plan B. Just go for it. You can only quit. You know, failure is something that word we don't use. If you quit, then nothing will happen. So
yeah, I believe the only failure in life is when you quit, when you give up on your dreams, when you give up on yourself. That's the only failure.
Yeah.
So I don't believe when people say, oh my God, I tried so many times and I failed. It's all just part of your experience. It's part of your story. It's just makes you stronger. All the challenges, you know, makes you stronger. And this is when your biggest breakthrough and transformation happens. When you are actually at the lowest point, when there are so many challenges, if you don't quit, if you don't give up, that's where you're gonna break through and, you know, start living your dreams.
Yeah, that was an awesome part of your story that you just shared here. You never quit, and see how well are you doing right now. And I'm pretty sure that your mom is very proud of you. And I also have one quote in my mind that I would love to mention, because it's just about everything that all people here just shared. It's like, if your why is strong enough, the how will follow. I think that is just, I'm pretty sure we all agree on this in the panel, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kim, would you please
Wrap it up.
wrap it up? Because, well, I don't know, perhaps somebody else likes to just throw something in, because it was a great hangout.
But just on the failure thing, like, you're always in this business. You fail, but you learn. So you're failing forward, and you're always moving forward. So you're learning as you go. Now, how many jobs did you go to that if you fail, you get fired?
Right.
This is something that you fail and learn from, and you make your business better. So,
Yeah.
and like they said, never quit, because that's admitting defeat. But fail forward, and you learn while you earn. So it's amazing. It's an amazing system that we use.
Awesome, Sheenan.
Yeah.
Thank you. Chad, did you want any last words?
You know,
Terrible, but
I'm gonna spare. I'm not good with like a couple of last words. I do a lot of last words. So basically, you know, I'll do this one real quick. All right. So I have this in my heart, and it's just there. So there's a tree. It's the bamboo tree, right? And I don't know if this is true, but this is what I've heard, right? That a bamboo tree actually grows down for years and years and years and years. The roots go down, and then one day it just sprouts out of the ground like crazy, and it grows extremely, extremely fast. And so that's like us, right? We go through all these challenges. We go through these challenges, and we don't have success. We don't, you know, make a ton of money. We don't finally, you know, live the dreams that we always wanted to do. And then it's just like, as soon as we've had enough of that growth down deep, we have those roots. Because if you just had quick success, if you just woke up one day and you just win the lottery, you don't have the roots down there to keep you keep you grounded, keep you from blowing away, basically. If you just had $1 million get deposited in your bank account and you've never had success in your life, it would just go away very easily. But if you have those, went through all the challenges, you know all this stuff of how to keep it and how to get it again, really is the more important thing, is that then you will be able to, it doesn't matter, you can have that success, and then if anything happens, it could all go away, you could get it all back again. And so learn, get around the people like us on this panel, decide to get into a system that can help you develop those skills, and be around people that have the mindset like us, and you can grow those roots, and you can finally have that substantial success that you've been looking for.
Yeah, nailed it.
Love it, Chad. It's
That
such
was
a
awesome.
Awesome, Chad.
such a great analogy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
It's so
awesome.
true.
Well, I think we're beyond our hour, but it was such an amazing hangout today that we just had to continue because everyone has a lot of great value.
Even with some technical challenges.
So, if you haven't noticed, that your next step is to allow us to help you. By going to the link below, the button below, and clicking through and joining our system, you become our affiliate, basically, where it's our incentive to make sure that you get success. Because when you get success, we have success. And as we grow together as a community, that is when we start to change and create this massive influence. And we all have different goals, we all have different lifestyles we want to achieve, but one thing that's common amongst us is that we want to dearly, genuinely help people. So by going to the link below, you're allowing us to help you. And so we really appreciate you sticking all the way through to this hangout. Feel free to connect with us on Facebook because we are totally available. We are here to help you, and we want to make sure that you're set in the right direction. So again, my name is Kim Justice. Why don't you guys give a last first and last name so people can find you on Facebook?
Chad Oxted.
Oh, Chad, go first.
So Chad, C-H-A-D, last name's O-C-K-S-T-A-D-T. So Chad Oxted, you can rewind that if you.
Awesome. Dirk and Muriel.
Oh, it's just Dirk and Muriel.
Dirk and Muriel.
Awesome, Paulina.
Right?
Paulina, how can people find you?
Paulina Klukac, it's P-O-L-I-N-A-K-L-Y-U-K-A-C-H.
Awesome, Sheenan.
Shenan Bruncher, so SHENAN-BRYNN-CHESHIRE.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. We'll take care, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 4 p.m.
Thank you, guys.
Eastern.
See you
Thanks for
guys.
having us.
Thanks for
Guys,
watching.
appreciate it.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.